Hey, everybody. Well, welcome to another wonderful week within the mortgage industry. So, I'm going to talk about today client direct mortgage, super exciting, honestly, and broker AIQ. And we're going to talk about why we're the absolute best platform in the industry for you guys to be on, whether you were previously in retail, whether you're a broker. All brokers are not built the same. And we're going to go through all of this today. Now, excuse me, I didn't have my coffee this morning. I was rushing, doing other stuff. I didn't get my coffee. So I got my little, what's this called? I make it in the office. I think it's called Campana. So it's like some whipped cream with a shot of espresso, a little sugar, a little cinnamon. Mm. You guys got to try that. It's primo. Primo. All right, let's get started. So again, the best comp plan and the best support and growth platform in the United States of America. And I say that from a humble position. I say that having put in a lot of work, a lot of effort, a lot of analysis of the competitors to make sure when those words roll off of my lips, I mean it. And the industry recognizes it. Okay, let's go. Let's talk about the comp plan first. It's all show me the Benjamins. It's all about the money, right? I agree. Money's important in this business. It's not everything, but it is extremely important. Okay, so $495 per file. We wanted to come in and have the absolute most competitive comp split with our loan officers. This is a very interesting concept that I have, and it's rooted in who I was before I became not a company owner, but this venture of adding LOs and recruiting. I became a top originator, 50 loans a month, right? Small team, lean and mean. But my mantra was delivering the market's lowest rates without sacrificing service. So you've got to understand that's what grew me, made me into a top originator, like changed my whole life and family, change our address, change the car I drive, change the school that my kids went to. That concept of doing the absolute best for people as it relates to the monetary side of things, but don't treat them cheap just because you're charging them less. Give them white glove service still. So me doing that when nobody else really looked at it from that perspective catapulted me to being one of the top originators through 2012 to 2019, 2020. Okay. So same concept here. That's who I am. So I look at this and say, all right, my client is now the loan officers, you guys. How do I give the best deal, the lowest rate, which is payment commission? How do I put the most amount of commission back in their pocket without sacrificing service, with still giving them the absolute best support? So through my analysis, I came up with the number 495. There's a certain volume that we can go to where you break even, then you become profitable at that amount. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit because we've been out here talking to loan officers and they are like, this is great, right? But how do you make any money and blah, blah, blah. So I know that's of concern. So I kind of want to address that and let you know that we did do extensive analysis, and at a certain volume, we will be extremely profitable, even at 495. It just goes to show you how much money the other guys are making. I mean, they could buy like jets and this and that. All right. I'll be good. All right. 495 per file, no matter what type of file, correspondent, broker, whatever. No company holdbacks. Every single broker, whether they're transparent about it, and some are, I give them credit for saying, hey, I'm holding back 25 basis points. Hey, I'm holding back 50 basis points. Some are not so transparent and don't tell you at all. Some give you half truths. I've seen plenty over this last couple of weeks. I've seen where people are told that it's 25 basis points being held back. We do comparison real time, right? It's actually 50 basis points being held back. There's all kinds of stuff going on out there. You can't see it as a loan officer. What I will tell you and what I will promise you is that there will be no holdbacks at client direct mortgage. And what I want you to hold me to a court on this. I want you to make sure that don't take my word for it. I've already told my AEs, no holdbacks. If my loan officers call you and ask about holdbacks, that is a topic that you can discuss with them. Now, what you'll find in the industry is sort of like this industry norm or industry standard with us owners between the AEs and the banks out there, the lender that they work for. Don't speak about the holdbacks. Just say you don't know. Say go talk to your broker. Say anything else but the fact that you have a holdback. So the AEs are forced to kind of like redirect, lie, or try to not broach the subject, right? So if you're concerned about it, just ask your AEs, hey, any holdbacks in my company? If they act like they don't know, if they act like they're clueless, they act like that, right? Then you know that's a yes. If they at client direct, you will see the opposite side of the coin, right? They will say, absolutely not. Ramon doesn't have any, and he told me to tell you that he doesn't have any. And when I look at the pricing myself, there's not any in there. He's giving you the best pricing with no markup whatsoever. That's the answer you should hear from everyone, not just Ramon and Client Direct Mortgage, from everyone. Why has this culture kind of festered and nobody does this? Because everybody's sort of like in cahoots, if you will. You don't say anything, I don't say anything, they don't say anything, nobody says anything. The AEs don't like it because they're not really making any additional money. But at the same time, they have to do what the company says, and that's the whole correspondent thing. So no holdbacks, no holdbacks, no holdbacks. Check your place that you work at now. Talk to the AE, ask them about holdbacks, and watch their response. Okay, no built-in company margins before the rate sheet too. Same theory of holdbacks, but just sneaky ways to do it. These are things that you need to know. By me giving you this information and giving you questions to ask, I've just empowered you to lift your income, whether you come here or not. Box A has no markups because we're not playing any games. So if you're at Rocket, for example, their underwriting fee for correspondent is less than their broker underwriting fee. A lot of people don't know that. That's additional revenue back in the pockets of who? The owner of your brokerage. There's all kinds of ways that they do this, right? I'm educating you. I'm pulling back the veil. I'm really good at that. I'm about transparency. You guys know this about me if you followed me for any amount of years. I'm about transparency to a fault. I'll fight anyone about my transparency, especially in this loan officer game. Okay, you guys know that about me. So no additional fees. So what I'm saying is, if Rocket is charging $999 for the underwriting fee, which they charge, my underwriting fee is not going to be higher than that. I'm going to pass through exactly what the lender is charging. There are some lenders out there that are less than that, right? So it's like $600 or something like that. Whatever it is, talk to the AE, figure out what the underwriting fee is. That's your charge. A direct pass through with not 50 cents added onto it. All right. Bank or broker is your choice. I don't care. I'm not going to force you down a line. I don't care. I'm making $495. I could care less what you do, to be honest with you. Why? Because my compensation, my monetization of our relationship is not connected to you if you go broker or banker. So I bet you if you talk to some other retail lenders out there, they're not so happy about you going broker on deals. Why? Because they found a way to additionally monetize and peel off bips from you. Okay, it's all part of the game. If they weren't connected to making more money off of you, just determined by which channel you go down, then they wouldn't care what channel you go down. I'm an example or proof of that. Who cares? I don't care. Do what's best for you. Do what's best for the client. Do what's best for everything collectively in your business model. Okay, that's what I want you to do. And I'm going to take my $495 on this side or on that side. Okay, that's simple. Payday is every Friday. So once we get the check in, we reconcile it. We have a payroll every Friday. You don't have a long time waiting on things. I will tell you, let me give you this little sneak peek. We are working. I like to build things. Inside of BrokerAIQ, we're working on this new payroll module. We're actually scoping it out this weekend, and it's going to enable us to pay even faster. So we're gonna do some fun things there. Okay. Let's just talk about client direct mortgage really quick. We're approved in 34 states. We have live phone support. We have company processing. We have contract processing. We've built not only BrokerAIQ, but Salesforce. So our Salesforce helps us manage and keep all this stuff together. Some people might ask, well, how are you going to scale? How are you going to do this? This is so much work. Is my service level still going to be high? Absolutely. I've been working on this for years. I've been working for years for this day, right? We're the only brokerage in America that was built for scale from the outset. All the other companies, Edge, C2, eMortgage Capital, Barrett, Nexa, none of these companies, and I know these companies well, believe me, I'm a tech guy, engineer mind, and mortgage, and a very good mortgage professional, right? So I analyze things. I know these people. I was analyzing them years ago when I was talking to them. They didn't know I was, but I was. So those companies were built in the air as low-cost brokerages. So things got going a little bit. They were hoping they got going, okay, going well, add more people. Oh, I need to do this. Oh, I need another person for payroll. Oh, I need another person for that. It's called building it in the air, which I give them a lot of credit for. They've done great jobs building it in the air. But then there's another concept or philosophy out there, and it's called building for scale, okay? So you build something on a strong foundation because you know how high the tower is going to be. So that's a different approach, a different strategy, and a much better experience for the loan officer. And that's why I argue that we're the next generation of these mega brokers, okay? We have over 120 wholesale lenders. We have the most correspondent lenders out of any of those companies. You have price flexibility. They compete with one another. So you're going to look in and day out. You can't just have 2 correspondents or 3 correspondents. You need 10, 11, 12. But what I did is say, forget that. Let's double it. Let's give them 22, right? So you are going to be so empowered to make the most amount of money or be able to compete with anybody out there in the space. I don't care where it is. I looked at every single product vertical. The only one where you will still see some competition is in jumbo in certain regions throughout the country, like the Bay Area where I'm at. The banks really will get thin, right? It's called a loss leader. But everything else, you're good. Okay. 1099 in all states except for the ones listed, okay? So put all your money in your pocket, reinvest it in your business, okay? Reinvest the money in your business before you pay taxes. Very important. That's how I became a top originator. I was buying those leads. It started off at $200. $200 was all I would put in total. I said, what can I get back? I ended with my small, lean, and mean team. I have the receipts. So if anybody calls bullshit on me, I'll take it out and smash it in their face, right? $40,000 a week is what I was spending with LendingTree. 40K, $40,000 a week is where my peak was in lead buy, okay? I still have all the invoices. So don't believe me, let me know. I'll shoot them to you. So that's what you want. You can grow this thing. You need your money. You'll do more deals. You'll get more money in, and that thing, it'll be rolling. Okay. We know how to scale here. Okay. All right. Calculate your pay raise. So go onto the website. I want to make sure you guys see this. joincdm.com. Joincdm.com. Go to the calculator, not the 2-minute assessment. That's something else. But go and click through the calculators where it asks you, do you work for a brokerage, a IMB, independent mortgage bank, or retail, right? You pick a brokerage, pick the brokerage. And then I have a lot of brokers with their comp plan built into the software already. So pick Edge, right? W-2 company. Everybody's W-2, right? And they're 100% higher per file than us. We're $495, they're $1,000. So go in there, put your production, see how much money that you would have saved, put in your pocket, pay for your kids' college tuition, pay for your retirement, pay for your vacation, pay for your wife or husband's, I was gonna say purse, but I don't think your wife's purse or your husband's new whatever we like. I don't know what you guys are buying these days, but yeah, that's Rolex watch, your husband's new Rolex watch, whatever it is, that money is better served for you to give. I don't care if you donate it to the cause that you love. I'd rather you do that than give it to me. That simple, okay? So check this thing out. It's amazing. It's crazy when you look at it and it's like, all right, I got to make a move. People tell me, how did I sit in this for so long? Because nobody gave you the visual. Nobody really explained it to you. And the industry does this sort of like colluding with information. Everybody kind of says the same thing because it's advantageous for those people at the top. We know how this shit goes. It's not just in mortgages. It happens throughout different things in our lives. Some of us we're old enough to have seen it. It's old, and we're not going for it anymore. So it's time for you to be in the best situation, best deal for you and your family. Everything's too expensive. Time to get your money. Put your money in your pocket. Come to Client Direct Mortgage. Okay, let's keep on rolling. BrokerAIQ. Oh, this is it, man. This is my baby. This is my baby. We did a wonderful job here. I'm going to walk you through all of this. Okay. Let's just go to the next page so I can give you the list of items. Seamless onboarding. That's where it starts. It starts with continuity of you coming into our company. So BrokerAIQ is where everyone will go that's interested in working with Client Direct Mortgage. So you'll go in, you'll register, and the only people that can register are loan officers. We have other roles, but we have to invite them. They can't just go in and register and be a part of our platform. But as a loan officer, you can. Okay. Now, keep in mind, if you're registering, you don't just gain access to BrokerAIQ. You're saying, hey, I want to come work for Client Direct Mortgage. BrokerAIQ is exclusive proprietary software built for Client Direct Mortgage, and that's it. Okay. So when you come in there, you're going to come in, you register, it's going to notify us, then we're going to get contracts out ready for you. We're going to approve that contract, and it's going to sit inside of your system. You're going to look at it, download it, sign it, and say, hey, this looks good. You sign it right in the platform. And then you're going to move on to the next step of paying your platform fee. We'll talk about that. And then it's going to show you a checklist of all the things that we're doing for you. And you're going to get a call from our onboarding concierge, and they're going to walk you through. We're going to get you your credit pulling links. We're going to get you your point of sale stuff from Salesforce, your Salesforce account, your Office 365, all on your BrokerAIQ stuff is going to get all tuned for you. It's going to be absolutely wonderful. All right. So that's the onboarding. We have lender price in there as a pricing engine. Okay. The AI product genie, incredible time saver. 100 lenders, all their guidelines are being put into our system. Google Gemini developers version of Google Gemini sits on top of our system. It's reading all of the guidelines. Now, this is not like ChatGPT that you would go out and use on your own, because we created the database behind the Google Gemini. So think about it as in a way where we can all have our own ChatGPTs, right? This is my own little kid ChatGPT smart brain thingamajiggy. But I want it to I don't care about it going all the way out to the internet and getting answers for everything under the sun. I want my little smart ChatGPT baby to only read the stuff in this bookshelf. So we created the bookshelf, right? The vector database. We indexed, labeled, we did all these things and put all these like notes, if you will, all over all the guidelines. So that way our little Google Gemini baby knows how to look at it and read it. And then the Google Gemini baby looks at it, all the stuff that we laid out in the guidelines, and says, I know that answer. I know that answer. I know that. It's constantly reading everything. Even when we're not there, it's reading it, right? So it memorizes and knows absolutely every word on every one of those guidelines. So when you ask it a question, it knows exactly where to go and to surface it for you. And that's it. That's it. It's beautiful. I like to call it the most advanced account executive you've ever experienced. So forget your regular account executive. Always start with our advanced account executive. And I'll give you an example of that when we go through this, okay? All right. We have daily live training. We have support videos. You guys can read through this stuff. What I want to do is actually get into it and show you. So let me stop sharing on this one screen. Bada bing. Let's remove that. Okay, shows me all big. Let's add. Okay. Oh yeah. I know what I'm doing. There we go. All right. So we're gonna go here. Okay. This is our baby. So go to the website, read through everything, talks about, loan officers, account executives, contract processors, real estate agents. Oh my gosh, the real estate agents is genius. We'll talk about that. But yeah, to go through and tell you everything that's in here. So, if you just want to learn about what's going on, just go there. Oh shoot, log me out. All right. Give me just a sec. We use OTP, so no passwords. So you never have to worry about passwords. You just put in your email, and then it's going to email you the code. So let me just grab that really quick. So every time you'll get a new code. So makes it really convenient not to have to remember things. Okay. Doing good on time. This is it. This is where we're at. This is the dashboard. Let's start at the very top. Upper left-hand corner. And this might be kind of small. I don't know. Let me just, yeah, it's okay. Upper left-hand corner, support. You see that number. That is a client direct number. We have a support staff for you guys. We have 9, 10 people at any time waiting for this phone to ring and answer questions for you. Okay. So at any point in time, if you have a question about absolutely anything, I don't care if you have a question about an appraisal. I don't care if you have a question about your CTI link doesn't work. I don't care if you need a login for PennyMac. I don't care if we're processing your file, if it's an internal processing, then, and you want to know, hey, did the appraisal get ordered? I called the processor. They didn't get back with me, but my anxiety is making me really need to know. Call the support line. We'll go on to Salesforce. We'll take a look. We'll look at the notes. Yes, it got ordered for you. It got ordered. And this is the individual that's on the phone number that the appraiser will be calling to get access. Everything, anything you want, you call us. We'll take care of it. There's a 15-minute SLA on that. So service level agreement. So you'll call. They'll take the notes on what it is. They'll open up a task. They'll send you, a ticket. They'll send you the ticket number via text and say, hey, I'll give you a call back in 15 minutes with a resolution or with a plan, a game plan or a timeline on when we'll have a resolution for you. That's it. Make it easy. You guys want to pick up the phone. All the making a ticket, sending emails to an inbox, support at blah, 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 payroll at blah, 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 ticket at blah. No, nobody has time for all that. Pick up the phone, call us, let us help you. Next to it is Rocket's SOS number. This is just, you call this, press 2, you get SOS. There you have underwriters, okay? You have all the underwriters there that can help you answer questions. So if you have questions about anything underwriting, call that number. So listen, picking up the phone and calling somebody is the fastest way that you can get a resolution. You guys are out there working, you're in the streets, you're doing whatever you need to do. Let us be back at home base between ourselves and Rocket helping you. Okay. Now let's go to the other pillars of this system. The AI genie, we just talked about that. This is the most amazing thing that nobody has this. I'm the only one. I'm the only one in the industry with this. Here's an example. Okay. This says need an ITM lender for a purchase transaction with the max LTV of 90%. Okay. So it goes in here and searches and finds all of the lenders. ACC, Mortgage Boutique is telling you all these lenders. And these are not necessarily ones that are 90%, but it's telling you what they will do. Like the lender will do 80% at 740, 75 at 720, so on and so forth. You know how much time this saves you? Think about it. All the questions, all the different scenarios that you go through, and you're trying to think, and you're going to Facebook and you're putting stuff inside of a group, and you're doing all of these other crowdsourcing information from people that you don't even know if they even closed a deal in the last 10 years, right? Think about that. You have a scenario, you go to a Facebook group, you put it in there, and the person that answers it hasn't closed a loan in 2 years. I see it because I have a group with 8,000 people, and I kind of researched it. That's what motivated me to make something like this, because the number one post category type was scenarios. And then I look at the people who are responding and giving answers. 70% of the responses are inaccurate information. Such a waste of time, right? Let's cut that out and use the best system that's available for a broker or someone that has access to multiple lenders in the market. And that's right here at Client Direct Mortgage, exclusively at Client Direct Mortgage through BrokerAIQ. Okay. Amazing value there. I'll just tell you the secret weapon thing that I'm doing right now. You're not the only one that's going to have access to this. Our contract processors have access. The account executives even have access. But more importantly, next weekend, I am sending out a mass email to 42,000 realtors across our 35 approved states. Follow me here. Okay, this is important. These realtors, number one complaint, because I surveyed them, is that in the front end of the sales cycle, I'm not talking about once a deal is in transaction. I'm talking about specifically in the front end of a sales cycle. These 42,000 people that I mentioned, the realtors, they are the best buy-side realtors in America. So out of the 1.2 million, there's only 42,000 that do 12 or more buy-side transactions per year. Okay. So these are the people that we're targeting. And these are the people that we kind of surveyed, some of them answering. The number one problem that they have on the front end of the funnel when they're introduced to a potential buyer and within the scope of engagement with their mortgage partner is the mortgage partner is not available. Number one. That's the number one problem that they face. They have a question and they have nobody on the other end to answer. It has forced them to use loan officers in a way where they kind of have a Rolodex. I have my main loan officer. I have my second loan officer. I have my third loan officer. So I talked to one of them. They got 6 loan officers, one for non-QM, one for this, one for that. But they continue to be frustrated by not being able to get an answer. Well, guess what? The email that we're sending out says, you're one of the top buyer agents in the country. When you're working with the mortgage professionals that you have in your Rolodex, are you often frustrated because you can't get in touch with them or they can't answer the phone to answer a question for you with a new client? Well, have no fear, because BrokerAIQ is here. The format of that is a little bit different, but we're going to allow them to come in here, ask questions, and then I can see when they're logging in, what questions they're asking, how frequently, where they're at in the process. I can see the action of them doing it immediately, and that's called pull marketing. We're pulling them into our realm to do what? To eventually sell to them, to sell our services, right? So that's going to be amazing. That's something else that we're working on, but it really empowers. It gets out in front of, just like we're using the system to get out in front of the AE, right? We don't need the AE right now. We'll ask the question of the system, and then we'll go choose the AE we want. We're also using the system to get out in front of the loan officers, right? And have the realtors have information. But then we're going to circle it and funnel these loan officers back to our local loan officers in the area, right? So if a real estate agent is inquiring in Alabama and I see them asking questions, I'm going to look at my roster and let that loan officer know in Alabama, hey, they had a question about this. Let's try to ping them through the system, because there's a communication thing through the system too once you're in. So I'll show you that in a minute. All right, that's AI Genie. I'm big on training. Once I learned how to learn, it opened me up as an individual. So AEs, contract processors, Ramon, Fireside Chat with CEO Ramon Walker, PennyMag, Rocket, Kind, onboarding meetings every Monday, how to grow your correspondent, how to learn to originate using the correspondent channel. That's a class I'm teaching. I'll have classes on how to buy leads. Those are things I'm interested in. Okay. Oh, I thought somebody was knocking on my door or something. Okay. Those are things I'm interested in. Yeah. So those are the type of things that we're doing for you guys. There'll be constant trainings going on in our organization by different people. Okay. Let's see here. We told you lender prices in there. You see that. There's support. Let's take a look at all the account executives and the directories we have in place. Okay, so this shows all of the individuals, right? So they're coming in, they're loading their profiles, they're loading their guidelines. And if you want to find a lender, just come in here, okay? You can search it by lender. Let's look for like Freedom. Okay, that's Jennifer. So if you went into BrokerAIQ looking for a manual underwrite, I know Freedom does manual underwrites for FHA loan. You saw Freedom in there. You looked at it and all the guidelines look good. Then you would go back and say, let me just call her. And then you would click over here and have all of her information. It's about having things at your fingertips. Like if you go to Edge or you go to some of these other companies, they have a Google Doc, or you got to go to the Facebook groups. That's crap. That's so 1990s. That's early 2000s. That's when these companies were developed. Their technology is in line with the 90s and 2000s. We can't have that anymore. Time is money, right? There's margin compression. You need answers fast. One thing I didn't show you too, I'm going back to the AI Genie real quick. Once you, I don't think it's going to show you here, but just want to show you. Once you, I'm not going to go stop sharing and reshare, but I click this links down here. Okay, this links, I don't know if you can see this, but it shows all the guidelines here. So then you're able to click and see the actual guideline, and it takes you to the exact page for where it found like this answer. So it'll do that for every single one of these. So not only does it give you the information, but it takes you to the exact page. So it could be page 79 out of 180. And that's going to be right where the ITIN stuff is. So it allows you to take a deeper dive, look at it, and make sure that this lender can do what it is that you want them to do. Okay? Don't waste time. Don't lose deals. All right, let's keep on going. Contract processors. You need processing. We do internal processing. You can surely use us if you want to. But if you don't want to use us and you want a contract processor, we have plenty of them in here. We're adding another 100. So we have a couple companies that are now working on onboarding. This shows 87 contract processors right now, but there's going to be plenty of contract processors for you to work with out of here. Again, no Google Docs. It's going to be really cool because eventually what we're also going to do in here is allow you to rate them. You'll see who helped who with a loan. There'll be all kinds of different metrics in here. So you can see what contract processors wind up being really good. Okay. So you have that. And the last thing I want to show you in here, there's a lot of stuff in here. It's like a vendor store. You can see all this, like all these different vendors that, you know, you can use for different things, all that fun stuff. But the last big thing I really want to show you is the freaking communities. So this is almost like a Facebook group. That's exactly what this is. So we're just letting people in this week. Some people are starting to put in posts. And you can come in here, respond to a post. So imagine this. You have a real estate agent that went in and used the AI Genie, got a response back. But we all know they can't really understand the response completely. So they're somewhat satisfied, but that just triggered more questions. So now what I'm going to teach them to do, like when I do a class, I'm doing classes with them as well. Once they log into our system, our platform, they'll have classes too. So I'm going to teach them to come over here to communities, ask their question further, create a post, and let our loan officers respond and give them the right answers. Do you think that's going to lead to some business? They don't care. They do not give a damn about who they work with. It's proven. I've seen the numbers. 80% of them use over on 10 transactions, there were 8 different loan officers on average for all these top people. So I'll say that again. For every 10 transactions, it was like 8.3 or something. There were 8.3 different loan officers for every one of those realtors. That's the average collectively of the 42,000. We put all their data. What does that tell me? They're non-committal. The only ones that had deep attachment rates or conversion rates were real estate brokerages that had finance too. So it'd be like Johnson's real estate and finance. Why? Because that they're doing the loans for the people that they do the real estate for. So they would be at like 80%. But if you're talking about being a independent loan officer that services a separate independent realtor, you guys are not in the same company, or you guys are not the same ownership or exact same people. Like my wife does the loans and I do if you're not that kind of dynamic, truth of the matter is you're very unlikely to get multiple deals from the same person. So this tells me that the realtors are willing to use whoever is available at that time. So we become available through our platform for answers. And they're going to keep on coming back. And eventually they're going to look at our pricing because you're going to give them competitive pricing. Why? Because I'm only charging $4.95, right? And eventually they're just going to figure out, you know what? This is just a better place to be. Okay. All right. So now that kind of shows you some of the cool things with the platform. Like I said, there's more. There's one other thing I want to show you that's important. I just love this little thing. It's not a big deal, but it's the password manager. So I mean, I use Keeper right now. Everybody should have a password manager. We have 100 and something lenders. We have Salesforce. We have Aride. We have this. We have that. We have all this stuff. Come in here, keep your password, all your passwords in here, so that way you can be organized. When we make an account for you, we want you to come in here and put it in this place. So that way you're set up, you have everything where it needs to be, and you're good to go. So, yep. So let me now back up out of this and just talk about the last part of our presentation here. So now I do have to stop again and reshare. So bear with me. Little stopping and sharing again. We'll go back here. All right. We're back. All right. Minimize this. All right, here I am. All right. So we dove into BrokerAIQ. There's some questions, so I will jump in and answer a couple of those questions. But before I do, I just want to talk about the platform fee. Okay. So we do charge $149 a month, and you will hit up against the Stripe credit card processing after you sign the contract. So you'll log in, you'll see your contract, you'll sign it right there inside of the system with the mouse or whatever, or your hand if you're on your phone. And then they'll take you to Stripe for you to start the subscription at $149. That $149 gets you everything that you just saw, right? Because we have staff, we pay for that. Those 10 people that are sitting in the live support, right? We pay for all the AI Genie and all that sort of thing, right? So we pay for that whole BrokerAIQ. Salesforce, you will not find a better deal than what I'm giving you guys on Salesforce. So you do have Salesforce there too. And you have Office 365, not just Outlook, but you have the whole suite. So robust, a lot of stuff there for $149. I will say Arrive is optional. Okay. It's a separate payment because you own it. I don't want to own your LOS information. You own it. If you ever go to a different company, you take your Arrive account, you transfer it over to the other company. Okay. I don't think you ever will, because I think this is the last stop. This is a very transient business, but our intention was not to do like other companies where they come in the front door and leave out the back door. No, we don't even have a back door, right? Come in the front door, stay a while, right? Or if we do have a back door, the back door opens up to a beautiful patio, swimming pool, barbecue, all that sort of thing, right? You're going into the yard to hang out is what you're doing. You're not leaving the company because the value is so high here, okay? So $149, the Salesforce, we did build, follow me here, we built a POS, a point of sale, and LOS light. So light POS, light LOS into the Salesforce. So if you don't do a ton of loans, then you might not even need to buy Arrive, to be perfectly honest with you, right? You might be able to just work within Salesforce, okay? So that's something that we can talk about. Not a big deal. You know, if you want to get, don't get it at first, but then you can look at the Salesforce and decide if you want to get it later. The only difference is the Salesforce is not attached to Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, so you can't run AUS in it. So if you do all that kind of stuff yourself, then you want to get Arrive, okay? If you're not worried about doing that, hey, I like to collect the information, collect the client's information, then get the loan in line for you guys to look at, submit it to Rocket for a TBD, to be determined approval. They'll run the AUS, they'll do all that stuff. That's the way I like to work. Then I would say Salesforce is sufficient for you, okay? All right, so now let's move over. Oh, now that's it. So we'll take a few questions. All right, so I'll have a sip. This thing's still going here. And let me just go through and look at some of these questions here. Okay, all right. Hey, Steve and Joe, glad you guys jumped on. Yeah, Joel. Yep. The Sunday break. Yeah, the breakdowns in the comp between the companies when I do it on weekends. Some people love it. Some people hate it. You can imagine the people that hate it. Only a few, the ones that work at those companies. Yes. Yep. Lender guidelines embedded. Is the platform? No, unfortunately, the platform fee is not optional, right? So we're giving you all of these resources. They're available to you day one. And we do expect that you will utilize them. So therefore, we have to collect the platform fee. So the platform fee is very much a part of the overall offer, and there's no way for us to get around that. So it's the $149 per month on the platform fee, and then $495 per file. But it winds up still being the absolute most competitive deal compared to any other company out there for anybody that's doing any type of production. Now, if you do like one loan a year or two loans a year, then it might not. But as you get up to like 4 a year, we already beat everybody else, even with the platform fee. Okay. So yeah, I think that's, oh, the arrive fee is $68. So if you go back, so at the bottom down there, it shows it that the arrive is 68. Some people say they're paying more for their arrive. Some people were like, I'm paying 90 something now. So I feel like you know, I negotiated with Harish. So I was like, hey, they got to pay for this already and pay for that. So I think he gives us a pretty good deal. So we're at $68 a piece for the arrive. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to wrap this one up. I appreciate you spending some time. If you want to talk further, go to joincdm.com and then you can fill out the form, the inquiry form, and then like the 2-minute assessment or whatnot, or there's another form that's shorter there. Then that will come over to us and we can make a Calendly appointment from there. Or if you're ready to proceed and say, hey, I want to join, then go to BrokerAIQ.com, BrokerAIQ.com, and just register as a loan officer. And then we'll get that. We'll get, and all it's asking for, name, your contact information, and your NMLS number is all you need. So that will come to us, and then we'll get in touch with you with a contract and start that process towards you joining the company. Thanks, guys. Appreciate all of you. Have a good day.